On January 27, 2025, President Donald Trump took a significant step in U.S. defense policy by signing an executive order that launches the planning phase for a missile defense system modeled after Israel's Iron Dome. This decision is rooted in Trump's campaign promises during the 2024 presidential election, where he emphasized the urgent need for a sophisticated missile defense capability in light of rising global threats. Executive Order details. The executive order mandates that the Secretary of Defense submit a comprehensive implementation plan within 60 days. This plan aims to establish a next-generation missile defense shield designed to intercept a wide array of missile threats, including ballistic missiles, hypersonic weapons, and advanced cruise missiles. A noteworthy aspect of the initiative is the exploration of space-based interceptors as part of the defense strategy. Rationale behind the initiative. In his announcement, Trump pointed to the increasingly complex and intense nature of missile threats that have evolved over the past 4 decades. He specifically highlighted the effectiveness of Israel's Iron Dome, which has successfully intercepted numerous rockets launched by groups such as Hamas and Hezbollah. Trump stated they knocked down just about every one of them, reinforcing his belief that the United States deserves similar protective measures against missile threats. Political context. This executive order aligns closely with Trump's political agenda, particularly his commitments made during the 2024 election campaign. By advocating for a U.S. version of the Iron Dome, Trump aims to resonate with voters who prioritize national security and defense. The timing of the announcement, made shortly after the election, underscores his administration's focus on military readiness and the protection of American citizens. Implementation and technical considerations. The executive order outlines a clear timeline for implementation, requiring the Defense Secretary to provide a detailed plan within 60 days. However, experts have noted that while the Iron Dome is effective against short-range threats, its design may not be well suited for defending against intercontinental ballistic missiles, which pose a more significant risk to the United States. This raises questions about the feasibility and effectiveness of a missile defense shield that draws inspiration from a system designed for different operational contexts. Broader implications. The announcement has sparked discussions about the geopolitical implications of expanding the U.S. missile defense capabilities. As nations continue to develop advanced missile technologies, the need for robust defense systems becomes increasingly urgent. Trump's initiative is seen as a response to these evolving threats, but it also raises concerns about the potential for an arms race and the implications for international security dynamics. Summary. In summary, President Trump's executive order to initiate the planning of a U.S. missile defense system akin to Israel's Iron Dome marks a pivotal moment in American defense policy. Driven by both political motivations and perceived threats from adversaries, this initiative seeks to enhance the nation's missile defense capabilities. As the Defense Department prepares to outline its implementation strategy, the practicality and effectiveness of such a system will likely be scrutinized, shaping the future of U.S. defense strategy in an increasingly complex global landscape. The announcement that President Donald Trump signed an executive order on January 27, 2025, to initiate the planning process for a U.S. missile defense system modeled after Israel's Iron Dome brings forth several counterintuitive points regarding the implications and effectiveness of such a system. 1. Missile threat scope. It's noted that Trump emphasized the increasing intensity and complexity of missile threats over the past 4 decades, suggesting a dire need for a robust missile defense capability. However, the Iron Dome is primarily designed to intercept short-range threats such as rockets and artillery shells, which raises questions about its suitability for addressing intercontinental ballistic missiles (ICBMs), which are a more pressing concern for the United States. This misalignment suggests that while the political narrative supports a need for enhanced defense, the technical realities of missile defense systems may not align with the perceived threats. 2. Political motivations versus military necessity. Trump's initiative is closely tied to his campaign promises from the 2024 election, positioning the executive order as a response to both perceived threats and political necessity. This raises the counterintuitive idea that the decision to pursue such a significant military project may be driven more by electoral strategy than by a genuine assessment of military needs or capabilities. It can be argued that the urgency and framing of the threat may be exaggerated to serve political ends rather than reflecting an immediate and actionable military strategy. 3. Implementation timeline and feasibility. The requirement for the Defense Secretary to submit an implementation plan within 60 days presents a rushed timeline for a project of such magnitude. Developing a next-generation missile defense shield that incorporates advanced technologies including space-based interceptors is a complex undertaking that typically requires extensive research development and testing phases. The juxtaposition of a rapid implementation plan with the intricate nature of missile defense technology creates a disconnect that suggests the proposal may prioritize expedience over practicality. For historical context and efficacy, Trump's assertion that the Iron Dome effectively knocks down just about every incoming threat overlooks some criticisms regarding the system's performance and limitations. While the Iron Dome has been successful in intercepting a significant percentage of short-range threats, its overall effectiveness can vary based on the volume of incoming attacks, types of munitions, and operational contexts. The implication that a similar system would yield equivalent results in the U.S. context may be misleading, especially considering the different scale and nature of threats faced by the United States. 5. Technological advancement in global context. The executive order highlights a focus on developing capabilities against advanced missile types, including hypersonic missiles. However, the rapid advancement of missile technology and the dynamic nature of global threats complicate the notion that a static defense system can adequately counter evolving offensive capabilities. This raises questions about the effectiveness of investing heavily in a particular technology that may quickly become outdated or insufficient in the face of sophisticated adversary capabilities. 6. Broader geopolitical implications. The decision to pursue a U.S. Iron Dome-like system may also have unintended geopolitical consequences. While it aims to bolster national defense, it could exacerbate tensions with adversarial nations, prompting an arms race or retaliatory measures. This counterintuitive outcome illustrates how a defensive posture can sometimes escalate rather than diminish threats, complicating the security landscape that the initiative seeks to improve. In summary, while the executive order to develop a U.S. missile defense system modeled after Israel's Iron Dome is framed as a necessary response to emerging threats, several counterintuitive aspects suggest that the initiative may be driven by political motivations, face significant practical challenges, and potentially complicate the broader security context rather than simply enhance defense capabilities. The report on President Donald Trump's signing of an executive order to initiate the planning of a U.S. missile defense system reminiscent of Israel's Iron Dome contains several significant aspects that may be overlooked. Here's a detailed breakdown of these elements. 1. Political motivation and timing. The timing of the executive order is crucial. It follows Trump's campaign promises during the 2024 election, which indicates a strategic political maneuver to solidify his base among voters who prioritize national security. This alignment with political objectives may overshadow the actual technological and strategic implications of the missile defense system. The significance lies in how such decisions are often influenced more by electoral considerations than by immediate military necessity or feasibility. 2. Scope and nature of threats. A key point that might be overlooked is Trump's assertion that the U.S. faces increasingly complex missile threats. His focus on the development of a system capable of intercepting ballistic, hypersonic, and advanced cruise missiles reflects a broader concern about modernization in warfare. However, there is a missed nuance in how the Iron Dome system is primarily designed for short-range threats. This discrepancy raises questions about the appropriateness and adaptability of such a system for the U.S., which faces different types of threats, particularly from intercontinental ballistic missiles (ICBMs) from nations like North Korea or China. 3. Technological feasibility. The report mentions the inclusion of space-based interceptors in the proposed defense system. While this concept is technologically ambitious and potentially transformative, it also invites skepticism regarding its feasibility and cost. Space-based defense systems are fraught with technical challenges, and the complexity of developing and deploying such technology could lead to significant delays and budget overruns. This aspect often gets overshadowed by the immediate political and military rhetoric surrounding defense initiatives. 4. Historical context of the Iron Dome. While Trump cites the success of Israel's Iron Dome, it is essential to consider the context in which this system operates. The Iron Dome has been effective in intercepting short-range rockets and artillery shells, but its success is also attributed to the specific nature of the threats Israel faces, which differ significantly from those confronting the United States. Ignoring this context could lead to misguided expectations about the effectiveness of a similar system in the U.S. environment. 5. Defense budget implications. The proposal for a new missile defense system will likely necessitate a significant allocation of resources, which could impact other areas of the defense budget. This is important because it raises questions about prioritization within the defense sector, particularly in a time of competing needs, e.g., equipment modernization, personnel readiness, and other military initiatives. The potential for budgetary strain is a critical but often overlooked aspect of such extensive defense projects. 6. Inter-service coordination and integration. The development of a next-generation missile defense shield requires coordination among various branches of the military and intelligence services. The complexities involved in integrating different systems and ensuring they work seamlessly together can be significant. Yet this aspect is frequently underreported. The importance of inter-service collaboration underscores the challenges of executing such ambitious defense initiatives. 7. Public perception and media framing. The framing of this initiative in the media often emphasizes the technological and military prowess of the U.S. However, public perception may not fully grasp the implications of such technological advancements, including the ethical considerations and the potential for escalating arms races. The significance here lies in how public understanding shapes policy decisions and national discourse on security. 8. Long-term strategic considerations. The focus on building a new missile defense system may detract from other critical areas of national security strategies, such as diplomatic efforts, intelligence gathering, and cyber defense. While missile defense is crucial, overemphasizing it can lead to a skewed approach to national security that neglects other vital components. The long-term implications of prioritizing one type of defense over comprehensive security strategy is an essential consideration that can easily be overlooked in short-term discussions. In conclusion, the executive order to develop a U.S. missile defense shield modeled after the Iron Dome raises numerous critical issues that extend beyond the immediate context of military deterrence. The political motivations, technological challenges, historical contexts, budgetary implications, and long-term strategic considerations are significant factors that require careful scrutiny, as they will shape the effectiveness and sustainability of the proposed defense system. Ignoring these complexities may lead to misconceptions about the initiative's potential impact on U.S. national security. 1. Executive Order and Implementation Plan. President Trump's executive order to initiate the planning of a U.S. version of the Iron Dome missile defense system is a pivotal point. The order requires the Defense Secretary to submit an implementation plan within 60 days, emphasizing the urgency and priority placed on developing a comprehensive missile defense strategy. This move indicates a significant shift in U.S. defense policy aiming to enhance national security in response to evolving missile threats. 2. Focus on advanced missile threats. The executive order highlights a critical focus on countering a diverse array of missile threats, including ballistic, hypersonic, and advanced cruise missiles. This acknowledgement of the complexity and intensity of modern threats underscores the strategic need for a sophisticated missile defense system. Trump's references to the successful interception capabilities of Israel's Iron Dome illustrate the administration's intent to adapt proven defense technologies to U.S. security needs. 3. Political context and campaign promises. The timing of this initiative aligns closely with Trump's 2024 election campaign promises. Framing the missile defense system as a response to national security threats serves both as a political strategy to mobilize support and as a way to reinforce Trump's commitment to military strength. This point invites analysis of how defense initiatives are leveraged in political campaigns and the implications for U.S. foreign and domestic policy. For a technical feasibility and critiques, while the announcement of a U.S. Iron Dome system is ambitious, there are critiques regarding its technical feasibility. Particularly the system's suitability for intercontinental threats rather than just short-range ones. This raises important questions about the practicalities of implementing such a defense system, including budgetary constraints, technological limitations, and the potential challenges of integrating new systems into existing military frameworks. Analyzing these critiques can provide insights into the broader implications for U.S. defense capabilities and strategic posture. 1. The United States Strategic Defense Initiative (SDI), launched in 1983 under President Ronald Reagan. The SDI aimed to develop a multi-layered missile defense system to protect against nuclear missile attacks primarily from the Soviet Union. It proposed the use of ground-based and space-based systems to intercept incoming missiles. The initiative was controversial, facing criticism for its high costs and technological feasibility, and ultimately evolved into various missile defense programs that continue to exist today. 2. Israel's Aero Defense System, developed in the 1980s and operational since 2000. The Aero Defense System is designed to intercept and destroy incoming ballistic missiles. It was developed jointly by Israel and the United States with the goal of enhancing Israel's defense capabilities against threats from regional adversaries. The system has undergone several upgrades and has been successfully tested in various scenarios, forming a critical part of Israel's multi-tiered missile defense strategy alongside the Iron Dome. 3. The Patriot Missile Defense System, originally deployed by the United States in the 1980s. The Patriot system gained fame during the Gulf War for its use in intercepting Scud missiles. The system has undergone multiple upgrades since its inception, evolving from a purely defensive mechanism against tactical ballistic missiles to a more versatile system capable of addressing threats from cruise missiles and drones. The Patriot system has been exported to many countries and continues to be a central element of U.S. and allied missile defense strategies. On January 27, 2025, President Donald Trump signed an executive order to begin the planning process for a U.S. version of Israel's Iron Dome missile defense system, a significant move in the context of evolving global security threats. This initiative aligns with Trump's 2024 presidential campaign promises and reflects a growing concern over missile threats from adversaries, particularly as technological advancements in missile capabilities continue to evolve. Future outlook: predictions for the next generation missile defense shield. 1. Technological advancements. The development of a next-generation missile defense shield will likely accelerate advancements in missile interception technology. The focus on ballistic, hypersonic, and advanced cruise missiles indicates a need for sophisticated detection and interception systems. Investing in space-based interceptors could lead to breakthroughs in defense capabilities, enabling the U.S. to intercept missiles before they enter the atmosphere. This could also encourage research and development in related fields such as artificial intelligence and machine learning to enhance target recognition and response times. 2. Geopolitical implications. The establishment of a U.S. missile defense shield may alter the geopolitical landscape, particularly in regions with existing tensions such as the Middle East and East Asia. Nations with advanced missile programs may perceive this initiative as a direct threat, potentially prompting an arms race or leading to increased military expenditures by rival nations. Countries like North Korea and Iran might accelerate their missile development programs in response, further complicating international security dynamics. 3. Domestic political landscape. Trump's executive order can be expected to influence the domestic political landscape significantly. While likely to garner support from Trump's base and certain defense contractors, it may face opposition from budget-conscious lawmakers and those concerned about the implications of increased military spending. The outcome of this initiative could play a crucial role in shaping the 2026 midterm elections and future presidential campaigns, especially if it becomes a focal point in discussions about national security and defense spending. 4. International cooperation and competition. As the U.S. moves forward with developing its missile defense capabilities, there may be opportunities for international collaboration with allies who face similar threats, such as NATO countries and key partners in Asia. This could lead to joint military exercises, information sharing, and potentially collaborative development of missile defense technologies. Conversely, it may also lead to increased competition with nations like Russia and China, who may feel compelled to enhance their own missile capabilities in response. 5. Public perception and support. The success or failure of the missile defense system will ultimately influence public perception of Trump's administration and its defense policies. If the system proves effective in real-world scenarios, it could solidify support for future military initiatives and Trump's leadership on national defense. Conversely, if it encounters technical issues or fails to deliver on its promises, it could lead to public disillusionment regarding defense spending and military initiatives. 6. Legal and ethical considerations. The development and deployment of a missile defense system, particularly one involving space-based interceptors, will likely raise legal and ethical questions. Issues surrounding the militarization of space and compliance with international treaties could come under scrutiny. Debates about the potential for escalation of military conflicts and the ethical implications of preemptive strikes may also emerge, necessitating a careful approach to policy formulation and international engagement. Conclusion. Trump's executive order to initiate the creation of a U.S. missile defense shield represents a pivotal moment in U.S. defense policy with far-reaching implications. While it addresses immediate security concerns, the long-term success of this initiative will depend on its technological feasibility, geopolitical ramifications, and domestic political support. As the U.S. navigates these challenges, the development of missile defense capabilities could reshape not only the national security landscape but also the broader international order in the years to come.